Hello and welcome back to Nasty Nate, Plant Exterminator in the Farm of Doom. And that's a mouthful. That is the name change as it stands for now. And I'll probably just tune in with welcome back to Nasty Nate. And I'll try not to be too nasty for you ladies out there. So, having said that, I just came back here to another area of the bananas. These are I always call these the backside bananas. Back where we have two durian trees. But this is an issue. This is a disease here on this. I'll just show what I've got going on with it. This banana here is in rough shape. One, it has too many suckers, and we're coming back here to weed this and get that cleaned up a little bit. We did come through here, did a big prune, but look, you've got like 3 leaves left on this with this bunch of bananas. It's not even close to being ready yet. And it's got too many suckers going on over here. I need to dig up some of these sword suckers. But what this is, and this had me a little concerned because the leaves didn't turn yellow, but it had me concerned that this was that fusarium wilt, which is that TR4 fungus, which is so bad. But it's these banana back here are afflicted by the Sigatoka virus, and Sigatoka fungus. Excuse me, that is not a virus. And it's because of that hill on that side, and then there's a hill behind me here, and just the amount of light this gets and the large amount of rainfall that we've had. Well, you really have to, there are various mechanical means that you can set up on your farm in order to keep that. And I would say some of the mechanical barriers might be larger spacing, keeping them pruned, keeping them weeded. And that's something on these backside bananas I forget about a little bit. Don't get back to them, and they're the last on our weeding process, so they've been neglected as far as that goes. And the weeds stay high up here and kind of maybe give that fungus a chance to proliferate. But anyway, these bananas are infected with it, and what that does, it gets into the bark on there, which causes some other issues. But it also allows, it just makes the banana weaker, and it allows, then I can see the various holes in there which have been allowed banana weevils to get in there, and then it just makes it more susceptible to pests. And so that'll probably be a medium small size bunch coming out of that. And looking at most of the bananas here, they're like that. Now, we have planted some new bananas, and we've implemented another chemical barrier for the Sigatoka fungus, which would be the spraying the fungicide. And we're going to be doing that monthly at this point. Might do it twice a month, but right now I'm going to be doing it once a month. And if you look at it over here, and after this next harvest, which will hopefully be early this week, we will go ahead and do another fungicide. I can tell that bunch is kind of the same way. I came through here and cut some of them down because it was just got that Sigatoka fungus, and they're just going to be a weak tree. And even if they do produce a bunch, it's just going to be a small bunch. And I just had that thing where I jumped in the last video. I just shot that over there by the well bananas an hour ago, but I jumped because of the lizard. But I'm coming back here, and sure enough, almost stepped on the cobra there. So coming down there, whip out the camera. He's in the bushes, and I'm not trying to get it in the high weeds, trying to film the cobra. So I lost him, and I wasn't hunting for him. And this is where we also had bananas. You can see this one's down, this one's down, this one's down. And we did get the harvest. This is the area that we also got hit by the banana bandits the time before. And what we'll do here is leave those banana stalks like that until we're doing the cleanup, and we'll cut some of these down tomorrow. It just allows the banana, the rootstock, to reabsorb some of the nutrients that have already been converted into a usable form for the plant. So And we'll leave a meter off, leave about a meter on those when we cut them down. But that looks like a large bunch over there, which is good to see. But I am going to be working on improving the health of this area. Something else, this area was getting I was letting the weeds get a little high on this area, but I think we're going to have to go ahead and start implementing weed spray. I prefer just to do the cutting that we were doing with just the machetes, the lampasing, but it just took too long, and some areas were getting overrun by weeds, and with that issue with the fusarium wilt mainly, and having that other issue with another fungus which hasn't surfaced here on the farm yet, which is great, is that fusarium wilt, which we do not want. It's better just to maybe keep those down at least until they get a little more established. Oh, and I did happen to see, right, I was standing underneath it, that's why I'm like looking. There it is, there's a heart right there. That's actually for back here, that's a medium-sized heart coming out of there. It does go back a little bit there. So that's good to see. A new heart back here as well, because another thing I did back here was I left, like you'd have 3 bananas in one bunch that had hearts on it, and then boom, you cut all those down, and now there are no bananas there, and you just had 3 medium small bunches instead of having them spaced out properly and having 3 large bunches. So that's something I'm getting a handle on. And you see it's been filled in here. We had a lot of spaces where, because there were some existing bananas here, and I decided to plant some more. So we filled it in. But this is where some of those fusarium wilt ones, and because once I found out what it was, I was less concerned about that fungus. But I cut them out. I think I emptied that one and that one. They were just weak. They weren't going to produce. So I just kind of cut them up, shredded them, let them get dry out and get aired out. We'll replant there later on those. But there are more like that. It's just going to be like I can go through and find it's a weak stalk because they've succumbed to the Sigatoka. And if they produce a bunch, it's going to be real small. Looks like I have a couple papaya here. Might grab a couple of these and take them back with me. I have this one, and then there's another tree back there. You can see it. Might be hard to see. It might be a little bouncy. Yeah, it's back there. It looks like a rat climbed up there and got into that one. And I'm looking at these. I don't know if we had cleared this. If I clear it, I get up the whole entire rootstock, but these may be bunchy tops here, which means that I'll keep an eye on these. It could just be the leaves could be a little light because of nutrient deficiency, or they could be bunchy tops. I'm keeping an eye on it, on those. And actually, I think there was a different, it's a Latundin or some other kind of variety of banana that we don't have anywhere else. So I'll see. And these are those, we have this little patch. It's several hills of the Sigatoka. And I definitely prefer the giant saba, because we have one little patch of those, and they're awesome. I like them. These guys, it seems like they have an issue all the time with some of the bunches coming out. I had to chop them down, because I was told that's what you do. And the next bunches that came out were diseased, and then the next bunches that came out were okay. Like you'll see here, this was a situation where you had two bunches come out, and they were both medium. They were actually kind of big, but two mediums. And if you cut one down, then it's supposed to be large. And with these larger bananas, these are larger than the attemt, but not as big, quite as big as the giant Saba. You would leave, instead of just 3 plants to a hill, the baby, the teenager, and the adult. On these guys, you would leave 4 or 5. I don't know. It just looks like a tiny. Both of those look like a tiny bunch, and they actually both look diseased. Like they're twisted or something. So I don't know. I'm thinking about clearing out this little patch of Saba, since we're going to have another area that we're looking at planting with the giant Saba. But maybe we'll get on that. And I don't plan on planting anything right now, just taking care of maintenance on what I have for now. But for next year, I'm looking at it, and I think I do want to get these out of here. They've just been, haven't been a producer, and give me more of a reason to get back here and get on these attemt, which hopefully I'm getting that Sigatoka situated. But if you look at them here, even these ones that have the bunches, they have the Sigatoka leaves, and it's affected them. You know, even when you feel the trunk, it just feels weak, and then it keeps the trunk kind of moist. You do peel that off and cut it. That's part of the pruning process, but it's more than you can handle, and then it gets real skinny, and it makes it easier for other pests to get in there. But that's my little sick area, and we're working on that. So I'll keep it posted as to how we manage back here. But it's something that, if I can manage it back here in this really tough spot, then on the areas on the sides of the hills that are nice and open with good breeze and light, it'll be much easier to manage. So I'll go ahead and enter there. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.